Let's bring in right now Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois. His state is going to be hosting the Democratic National Convention in Chicago next month. Governor, maybe you can, as a really successful governor and politician, maybe you can answer this question for me. Why do the Republicans, and this isn't a rhetorical question, it's an enduring mystery to me, why does my former party keep doubling down on hate, on exclusion, instead of trying to add people to their coalitions?
Well, it's disturbing, there's no doubt. And I must say, as someone who's Jewish and has been the subject of anti-Semitism and someone who believes in fighting against racism and homophobia, I watch what the Republicans do every day and what they say. And I must say, I think that they think that there are enough of their minority of America to overcome Democrats and to, win in the election if Democrats aren't energized. But let me tell you, Kamala Harris is energizing people all across the nation, young people, people of color, and frankly, all of us who are excited about the idea that we can take this fight to Donald Trump and his mini-me, J.D. Vance. They're out there lying. They're out there offending people. The comments about, cat ladies, those are things that they do every single day. And we're doing a job of reaching out to the supporters of some of Donald Trump's former rivals, making sure that we're reaching Nikki Haley supporters, talking to independents. That's not the playbook for the Republicans. It hasn't been for many years. And as you're saying, they're sort of diminishing in numbers and hoping that everybody else will not show up at the polls. That was their whole goal in denigrating President Biden. Now we've got an energized party behind Kamala Harris, and I'm excited because we're going to win in November.
Governor Pritzker, you, of course, endorsed Vice President Harris yesterday. Have you received any vetting materials from her campaign about possibly being her running mate?
No.
And if you do, would you be interested in the job?
Look, I love being the governor of the state of Illinois, and I've been out on the campaign trail fighting hard for Democrats to win. I was in Indiana and Ohio last week. I'm going to be in Tennessee and Arizona. I, as you know, started an organization called Think Big America that's fighting for reproductive rights. We did it in Ohio. We're doing it in Arizona, in Nevada. It's important to me that we win across the board and all across the United States. So I'm going to continue to do that. And I'm very interested in making sure that Kamala Harris becomes the next president of the United States.
Governor Pritzker, the convention obviously in Chicago, as we were just talking about. Sleeper issue in this campaign: guns, violence, street violence, young kids being shot and killed at the age of 12, 13, even younger. What role is that going to play in the campaign, according to your estimates? And how do you go at it if you're looked at as a progressive Democrat?
Well, the first thing I'd say is, remember, the Republican Party is against law enforcement. They're the ones that want to dismantle every level of federal law enforcement. They're the same ones that stand up and defend when a police officer illegally shoots somebody who's innocent and has no weapon. I'm very deeply concerned that people like that are going to end up running this country again. We can't let it happen. Now, here in Illinois, we've banned assault weapons. We've banned bump stocks and ghost guns. We've made sure we're doing everything we can on the subject of gun safety, and also making sure that we're providing jobs for young people and organizing our violence intervention programs and dealing with what I think are the underlying causes of crime that exist, not just in Illinois, but across America.
So, Governor, the convention obviously going to be in Chicago, as Mike said. Last time, Chicago 68 obviously was a tumultuous time. It hurt the Democratic Party. I know that there are a lot of Democrats in the 60s, like my parents, who saw what happened in 1968, were absolutely horrified. Hubert Humphrey, I think he always blamed the chaos in Chicago for his defeat in 68. I'm curious, what steps are being taken right now to make sure that Democratic delegates like Lauren can go to Chicago. There can be a peaceful convention. People can protest that are concerned about what's going on in Gaza, but there's a time and there's a place and a manner for that peacefully. How do you do that so we don't have a repeat of 1968?
Well, I want to remind you that that's not the last convention that was in Chicago. Actually, the 1996 Democratic Convention was here.
Right, I know,
and
Governor,
but
that went too smoothly. Yeah. I'm not going to say. I did not remember that, so I apologize.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I understand why the media tends to want to focus on, on the 1968 convention. But I have to say that, we know how to run conventions here in Chicago. We've done it more than any other city throughout the history of the United States. And I have to say that we have every level of law enforcement engaged here. I've had a number of meetings to make sure that we're doing all the right things. And we're getting help from surrounding states, from all level of law enforcement. But importantly, we expect that the energized Democratic Party is going to have an amazing convention inside the convention hall. We're going to be collectively nominating, the first black woman ever to be president of the United States. And she's somebody who represents our values in a way that, we haven't seen for some time, and bringing energy and young people to the table. So I think the convention's going to be amazing. We've been planning for it for about a year and a quarter already. Just met with the convention staff yesterday, and you're going to see something that really you haven't seen before. It's probably going to be the best convention ever. And I've been to every convention since I was 18 years old.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very hard to outdo the 1996 convention that was in Chicago, by the way. What an incredible convention. So,
have you been to Chicago in the summer? It's the best place in the country for summers.
It is the best place in the country. Democratic Governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, thank you so much for being with us. We greatly appreciate it and looking forward to seeing you.